Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another night of empowerment. Tonight's kind of a continuation from last night's mirror journaling session. If you missed it, you are more than welcome to check it out up top to catch up. But you can still do this without the previous video because we are actually going to dive a little deeper into our shadow, because I know you did a lot of work last night, but it's time to kind of bring it all a little more together, because your reflection, as mentioned in the mirror journaling, doesn't ask you to relive your pain. It just asks you to notice what is being revealed. And your reflection isn't about labeling the shadow as something bad or something to overcome. It's about listening to those truths that are surfaced when things feel heavy, uncertain, or unnaturally quiet. Shadow isn't hiding the truth. It just changes how we hear it. So let's dive in just a little bit here and talk about our shadow for a quick second. A lot of times, acknowledging those shadow parts of ourselves strips away the distractions and the reasons that we hide those parts of ourselves. And patterns become more visible when we start to really acknowledge them. And boundaries show where they're missing. And needs speak louder when they're ignored too long. So I definitely recommend all of the reflection without needing to feel like you need to fix anything. Insight often comes after we start working on these journeys, not during. Sometimes you get a couple little teeny bits here and there, but you get your most insight when you start choosing to actually acknowledge all of these things and let them come. And always remember, you don't need clarity on everything. Everything comes in its own time, as I mentioned in my video about the moon card. And if you missed that one, I definitely recommend checking out the entire empowerment playlist, because you've been missing a lot, my friend. And it's been an amazing journey. But always remember, one small truth is enough to get started and really get the momentum going. So I want you to take a moment to ask yourself right now, what did this season ask of you? Not demand, but ask. Did it ask you to start acknowledging that you're frequently underprepared for the holiday season because you've always got so much going on and you're afraid to ask for help? Did it ask you to acknowledge that seasonal affective disorder actually does affect you? Or did this season ask you to finally acknowledge that it's time to remove the mask that you wear for everyone and just be you? To kind of help you out along with this a little bit, let's try an exercise. All you need is a piece of paper and a pen to write with. That's it. And right now, I want you to take a couple of deep breaths. You can do it in a way that I recommend, with the 5 in through the nose, hold 2 or 3, out for 7. Or just a nice unmeasured 2 slow, deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth, to release all the pressure going on in here. If your brain's anything like mine, it's a crazy squirrel on caffeine. And when you're ready, I want you to write at the top of the page, what truth did I see in my shadow? And I want you to let the answer come without softening it, fixing it, nothing. Just be as honest with yourself as you possibly can. Because the nice thing is the only person that you're doing this for is you. You don't have to make it pretty for anybody. And if you're stuck, try a couple of these starters. I learned that I need, or I realized I can't keep, or I noticed a pattern around. Just keep in mind one very important thing. Truth doesn't have to be dramatic to be real. Best example is my own self with, I learned that I need to finally just accept that things won't change regardless of how much I ask unless I start to act. I also realized that I need more help than I'm ever willing to admit. Because I am that freak that tries to do it all myself. I can't help it. But I also know it's a portion of my shadow self that was created over time because of just how my early days were. But something that's definitely been helping is this affirmation. I honor what I learned, even if it's unfinished. And when I finally put that together for myself, whether it was an instant download from the universe or what, it clicked so hard in my head that I actually felt relieved. So definitely, if you're able to, keep this somewhere. I honor what I learned, even if it's unfinished. Because your lessons are never really done. As spoken by a true Sagittarius. This next one is more of a meditation than a physical exercise, if you will. We're going to let the reflections settle instead of analyzing it. Kind of let it marinate a little bit, if you will. Forgive the cooking pun. But I want you to close your eyes and place one hand on your chest or your abdomen. If you feel comfortable doing both, definitely do both. Because the more that you are in touch with yourself, for lack of a better way to put it, the easier this will be. And now we're going to do a quick breathing. In for 5, out for 7. And you ready? In. 2, 3, 4, 5. And out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. As you're exhaling, I receive what I learned. So let's do that again. Breathe in. I receive what I learned. And you can repeat that 3, 4, however many times that you feel comfortable doing. Heck, if you feel super spunky, do it for 10. I know that I'm not ashamed to say that I will do that for anywhere from 3 to 10 times just because it helps me focus that much more on what I have learned. And more importantly, actually let it sink in a little bit because I'm a little hard-headed. I accept it. And at the end of all that, I encourage you to say, I don't rush my understanding. Integration happens in its own time. I don't rush my understanding. Integration happens in its own time. Because good, bad, or indifferent, reflection is not linear. You will have so many detours, backtracks, and everything else before everything really sinks in. And that is not a bad thing. 1, we're human. 2, we live in a batshit world. Let's be honest here. And sometimes it takes a minute to really let everything sink in, especially if you've been hiding from it for years. Just remember, your shadow doesn't define you. It's just an extra way that you've learned to cope in the world that we live in. Truth will always become guidance when treated gently. Just remember one very important thing. You don't need to revisit the shadow to keep the wisdom, so long as you chose to acknowledge it. And before I let you go, one more quick affirmation to help you along your way. I carry insight forward with care. I move gently with myself. Have a fabulous night, guys, and I'll see you all again soon.